This video is not for whales and dolphins. It's for you, because you are just like me. Average Gamer here, and today I want to talk about Evelyn and the effect she could have on the future of Zenless Zone Zero. Now, I think Evelyn, and potentially what comes afterward in 1.6 and later, could be the resurgence of an attack character meta, because things have been focused on Anomaly for a while, and I think we're due for developing the attack characters with supports that can potentially lift an attack character up to that Anomaly level, as well as potentially getting an actually great limited S-rank attack character. But will that character be Evelyn? Let's talk. So let's rewind first and then expand with a bit of context on Anomaly. In terms of our recent limited S ranks, it's felt pretty focused on Anomaly. Yeah, we had Haramasa too, but remember he was free, so there's not been too much focus on support for him at all. Other than that, we haven't had a limited S rank attack character since 1.0. We had Jane, Bernice, Yanagi, and Miyabi, all Anomaly and banger characters. I mean, you know what I'm saying. And it's kind of true that Anomaly characters did need to catch up after 1.0 when we had more attack characters, but I guess the thing is with the Anomaly characters is that they support each other. Bernice is an off-field Anomaly applier that can work with any of the other Anomaly characters, and Yanagi is Miyabi's best way of generating Fallen Frost stacks as well as being able to dish out powerhouse damage herself. So it makes sense to run all these Anomaly characters back to back for Hoyo, because then players buy into one, say Bernice, and then, well, darn, I need to run her with Yanagi because that looks like it'll be a really good, fun team. And then the next thing you know, oh, well, I need to run Yanagi with Miyabi because that's her best in slot support, essentially. And then you can see how we ended up in a position where everyone gets all of the Anomaly characters. And then they introduce Astra to buff them both, like Yanagi and Miyabi, which turns that into the strongest team in the game. And Hoyo seem to want to do this approach where they back-to-back really synergistic characters together, and I don't think that they can push Anomaly much higher after Astra. And currently, attack characters don't really have that same synergy that Anomaly characters can have with each other. If you run an attack character, it doesn't really make much sense to run another. And I don't think that that will change. I think we will continue to see a more traditional stun and support in attack characters' teams, but I think we're probably due a bit of an upgrade in niching down on those supports or getting something that really brings attack characters up to that Anomaly level. Now, coming back to specific relation to Evelyn, I don't think that she will be the attack character that brings attack characters back to Anomaly level. From a lore perspective, she currently doesn't seem important enough to warrant that, but considering the power of Anomaly right now and how hard Zenless Zone Zero went on Anomaly with the limited characters, a different kind of DPS could make a resurgence with the right supports. Currently, attack characters aren't bad by any means. I still use Juyuan and I can clear just fine, but in comparison to Anomaly teams, while it's not a night and day difference, it's clear that with Miyabi in particular, that Anomaly is in a spot where additional upgrades don't make too much sense, while your other teams are quite a way behind in terms of damage output. So in Evelyn's case, I think she could end up being the Jane Doe of attack characters. Not just a good character on her own, but a selfish character that's going to benefit massively from future characters. If we consider Jane for a moment, and when she came out, she essentially benefited for the next few characters after her. Caesar, great for her. Bernice, great for her. Yanagi, can be used with her. Lighter, not so much. And then we get Miyabi, and it's not ideal, but yeah, you can use Jane with Miyabi to help hit disorders, kind of just an upgrade on Piper making use of Miyabi downtime with the big basic attack. So much like with Jane, I think Evelyn will be good now, and probably with the next few characters, get a little bit better. But I think the deeper we go, if we move into a more attack-focused meta, the less value she could hold if the meta does shift in that direction fully. As Jane is still a great character now, and teams with her and more of an Anomaly focus are probably clearing faster still than similarly invested attack character-oriented teams. But after a couple of patches, Jane's power level wasn't quite the same as almost any of the Anomaly agents that followed, and the same could hold true for Evelyn. She could benefit from a great support in 1.6 or 1.7, but then a later attack character could be better with that support in a patch or two, for example. We'll move away from talking about Anomaly and more to attack characters in just a moment, but before that, this is your reminder that you probably aren't subscribed. Liking and subscribing is the best way to support small creators like me on YouTube. I'm also going to be doing a big stream for pulling Astra on Thursday. Time will be on my schedule for your region on Twitch, so drop me a follow over there, and join the Discord if you're just looking to vibe with other Zenless Zone Zero players. Ask for help with your builds, give others some help. It's a fun, chill place. Now, Moving back on over to attack characters. They can't do the same thing as anomaly agents, where we just get a bunch all together because attack characters won't benefit from other attack characters in the same way that anomaly characters do, at least with the way that attack characters function right now. But as mentioned, I really wouldn't be too surprised if Evelyn is kind of the start of attacker meta, where we get a limited S-rank stun agent and a limited S-rank support over the next few patches, focused on bringing up the power of attack characters to kind of even out the playing field against the anomaly characters. Now, it seems pretty obvious that Evelyn is going to work pretty well with Astra, who seems to be a universal support, but has some key things that really help Evelyn out, like the additional chain attacks following her ultimate. But moving on to talk about Astra for a moment, yes, she's looking great, but as discussed in my prior video, she is more useful to anomaly teams than to attack teams because of her ability to buff more than one character, therefore enabling the quick swap DPS anomaly playstyle that's integral when running Miyabi. Heck, a demo even showed her with Miyabi and Yanagi. Bernice will also really benefit from her attack buff while she's off field too, and overall it feels like Astra is useful for attacker teams, yes. She may be on Evelyn's best team when Evelyn comes out, but Astra would actually be more effective in anomaly-based teams. It really feels like to me that Anomaly is kind of ramped up and culminated with Miyabi. Astra then comes along as an incredible Anomaly support, and because she's our first limited S-rank support, she also ends up being the best support on many attacker-based teams too. Astra then provides a link into Evelyn, and then attack meta kicks off and starts to ramp up with more niche supports that are more specific to certain use cases and benefiting attacker teams more specifically. This means that we'll be working towards a capstone unit, similar to Miyabi, to kind of be the peak of attack style teams and to give Miyabi and her anomaly teams a run for their money. I imagine that this time around it'll not be until the 2.0 patch that we get a big character to fully bring attack characters in line with anomaly, and that doesn't mean it actually has to be an attack character. It could be a support or stun character that is just perfect in certain situations. And honestly, as a player, that sounds great. It means that the anomaly teams aren't going to get left behind because of their inability to utilize a specific unit, because anomaly definitely feels in front right now, and hopefully it would be possible to bring all the team types up to a similar level with the right characters. Does this increase Evelyn's value though? Not really. I think Evelyn will be a fine character, fine indeed, but not a game changer at this point. And it's really up to the units that follow her to demonstrate whether we are going to really bring up attacker teams to a similar level of that anomaly teams or not. And it is very possible that even when we get to the characters in 1.6 and later, that it's not completely clear what the end goal is, because if they're working towards a capstone unit at the end of 2.0, it's possible the units between now and then might seem underwhelming because we don't have the right characters to make the most of them yet. Evelyn will likely benefit from the characters following her in 1.6, but as to how much those characters are for her or for someone else will remain a big question mark, similar to the Jane Doe situation. This also isn't to say that you should or should not invest into Evelyn. Do what you want, buddy. If you want the strongest possible team, then just hoard all your polychrome until 3.0. Easy. But the game is meant to be played, so pull who you think would be fun to play. In specific relation to Evelyn, I think once we have an idea of what the 1.6 characters can do, when we actually get more info than just the drip marketing, so during 1.5, and then we can make a few more guesses. But you should invest in a character for what they bring now, and not some future promise that might never be realized, and bear that in mind when you're considering Evelyn. But anyway, to summarize, I do hope that we go in the direction of bringing attack characters up to a similar level as the anomaly characters, but anything could happen. This is just a thought piece, but let me know what you think down below. Another video of mine should have popped up by now. I'm off to collate an Evelyn shrine. Do work. Do valuable and important gacha work. Anyways, as always, remember to like and subscribe for better than average luck on your balls, pour responsibly, and stay weird. Bye. Bye.